Last day of the finals, E-50. 50 of the world's best fishermen, and I'm in the lead on the last day. I mean, this is amazing. Yeah! What an awesome opportunity. I'm going out today, I'm gonna have fun. Woo! That's how we do it in Texas! Texas is awesome. Great fans, great fishing, man.
Mike Iaconelli has set the scene for himself on this championship day. Iaconelli has not won a tournament with the Bassmasters since his World Championship. His Citgo Bassmaster Classic win on the Louisiana Delta in 2003. This time, he's got a shot at a win again, but he's got to get past the likes of Randy Howell, Edwin Evers, Larry Nixon,
Yeah, finally!
Brian Snowden, and this man, Kevin VanDam.
That is a Lewisville largemouth right there. Oh, my goodness. That's a giant. That's what you come to Texas for right there. Everything's bigger in Texas.
What does VanDam have in common with Iaconelli? Well, he too has not had a win with the Bassmasters since his Classic win in 2001.
You know, I didn't come to lose.
Oh, God.
We'll do it today, baby.
One of these 6 anglers will emerge as the champion of stop number 3 on the Elite 50 Tour for 2005.
Ain't out of it, man. I'm coming at you. Yeah!
The Citgo Bassmaster Tournament Trail.
We started this tournament with the top 50 ranked anglers from the Citgo Bassmaster Tour. They are the Elite 50. Of course, we are down to 6 on this final championship day, fishing Lake Lewisville. About 30,000 acres, a really big lake here in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, and big crowds. Out to see the likes of Mike Iaconelli trying to win his first tournament in a long time, or Kevin VanDam. Well, it's been even longer for him. The word crowd is the operative word here. A lot of bass fishing fans in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and a lot of demand for a bass tournament. We just didn't know how much demand there was on him. What a treat, what a great place Lake Lewisville turns out to be to have a bass tournament. Tommy Sanders, along with Jerry McInnes, it's just been a treat all week long.
The crowds on the bank were spectacular, but how about those crowds on the water? The actual spectators out in boats watching has grown all year long from one event to the next. You know, it's gone from 40 to 60. There was 70 boats out there following these guys at times, all very respectful. Nobody gets in anybody's way, and the anglers actually start factoring that into their game plan before they get out on the water. It's changing. Bass fishing is changing.
People only dreamed years ago of bass fishing being a spectator sport. I think we're starting to see it happen right before our eyes. Exciting start. First couple of days of this tournament. Hard to ignore the big news item from day number 1. There it is, all 11 pounds, 13 ounces of it. Kevin VanDam with the big Texas lunker on day 1. And that wasn't his whole story. As a matter of fact, Kevin went out and caught 4 more to back it up. A tremendous limit of fish, 24 pounds and 2 ounces, way ahead of the field. Did it with the finesse worm, right?
Little 6-inch worm, caught him on 8-pound test line, Tommy. Caught a keeper right off the bat when the morning started, and man, 15 minutes later, he catches the lake record.
Unbelievable stuff. Day 2, and Kevin VanDam does not let up on the field. He gives him another whoop in there, 15-14 on day number 2. 2-day total, 40 pounds. He's almost 13 pounds ahead of this guy, Mike Iaconelli. And Mike Iaconelli, hey, it should be said, was having a great tournament. He's got 27.06 after 2 days.
Slam dunk, baby.
A slam dunk for Iaconelli, but way behind. But the thing is, they drop the weights after 2 days. They start again from 0 when we head to our 6-hole course, Jerry, and there it is right there.
Yeah, I thought the main lake fished surprisingly good. It was really good, but after 2 days of qualifying, we cut our field to 12. We zero the weight. Everybody starts all over again. We bring them into our course. We have a 6-hole course set up. We're going to put 2 boats in each hole. They will fish there for an hour and 10 minutes and then rotate until we get the whole course covered. And I like the course. It's going to be challenging.
Yeah, and a different sort of strategy for all these guys. And imagine how Kevin VanDam must have felt losing all that great weight, back to 0, and then this guy comes along. Mike Iaconelli really starts tearing it up on day number 3. He's the best angler of all the 12 out there. Takes the lead. Of course, 6 of them advance to the final round.
Iaconelli's a freak, Tommy, but he's a fish-catching son of a gun. Hey, he figures out very quickly that the front of the course is good for his finesse worm. He gets in the back end, he starts flipping a jig. This guy's a very versatile angler.
A couple of other good stories working out there on day number 3, fishing in the same hole for the 2004 Angler of the Year and the 2005 Citgo Angler of the Year, Gerald Swindle and Aaron Martins.
I got my limit back there off that shallow dock. Just got my 5th one.
Did you really?
About a 4 1/4.
No.
Oh, yeah.
You lie. You're a liar.
Would Swindle pull somebody's leg?
No.
I mean, I wouldn't think so. Hey, at the end of day number 2, our 12 finalists got one little trip through the course, and when he was back there, VanDam saw lots of bait fish, which told him start the day throwing a spinnerbait.
Well, it was VanDam winding up, though, with 8 pounds and 8 ounces, about a 4-pound deficit after that huge lead on the first 2 days. Iaconelli leads the Super 6 into the final day. Nixon, Evers, they're in there as well. Our Angler of the Year guys, well, they did not fare so well. Martins and Swindle both out of there. Dustin Wilkes has had a great E-50 season, but he does not make the top 6 either. Well, stick around. We got so much more to come. We're going to start championship day when we get back. Is Iaconelli's lead good enough to hold up? He's just a pound or so ahead of Brian Snowden. This is going to be a great race. We kick it off when we return.
Bassmaster Tournament Trail is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Purolator, Toyota, and Trident Boats.
Citgo Bassmaster Tournament Trail Elite 50 Series. This is a very important series of 4 tournaments for the top 50 ranked anglers from the Citgo Bassmaster Tour. This is stop number 3. We're in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area at Lake Lewisville. Huge crowds here to take part in this wonderful, wonderful contest. We saw Kevin VanDam catch an 11-pound-plus fish on the first day. He led over the first 2 days. The weights were erased on day 3, and now we're down to 6 on the final day. Mike Iaconelli, one of those, getting ready to go.
I'm going out today. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to fish free. Regardless, Texas is awesome. Great fans, great fishing, man. I'm going to do it today, baby. I'm coming at you. Yeah! I'm going to try to do a little crowd control and just kind of sit out in the middle until everybody kind of comes through, and then I'm going to ease back up. Crowd control in a bass tournament.
Strange but true. The crowd's estimated, especially with the boats, 60 to 75 boats each, expected to follow around the likes of Iaconelli and VanDam. It is going to be a big day on the water. Iaconelli is ready with his strategy.
Same game plan as yesterday, a 2-pronged approach. In the 3 holes that have the deep, rocky 45s, I'm going to finesse fish. In the 3 holes that don't, I'm going to power fish and fish wood cover. And that's my strategy. It worked yesterday. You know, if it's meant to be, it's going to happen. My goal today is try to catch at least one fish in every hole and catch a limit. If I do that and still don't win, I've done everything I can do.
Wait a minute here. We got an Iaconelli look-alike. Tommy, did you see
They've cloned
that?
him, and he's bigger now. Look at that.
And look at the crowd. Really, I think we counted, and that's a little bit over 70 boats there, and they are very courteous. They are there to watch Iaconelli. They're there to watch VanDam and Snowden and Nixon. They're there to see them compete in this event. And they are so courteous, I just can't point that out enough.
So important to get off to a good start. Is this a keeper?
Fortunately, I don't think that one's going to keep. Just misses.
Another guy we see a lot of for the same reasons. This guy right here, Edwin Evers. The reason being the same reason he's always up there amongst the leaders.
You mean you don't pick these guys, Tommy?
No, they pick themselves because they win.
They do pick themselves, and I tell you what, I think Edwin Evers is a great angler on the course just because, well, doggone, all these guys are versatile. But however, Edwin fishes a spinnerbait and a crankbait so well that he's really matched for this course. And I mentioned that Iaconelli was fishing that riprap like he did yesterday. Well, Edwin Evers went right to a log where he had a lot of success yesterday.
There she is, right there, boys. Gosh, dang it, that ain't the way to start the day. Man, that's a 2.5 pounder, too. Golly. Man, that's a good one.
know where that was coming. I was ducking.
How will championship day go for Kevin VanDam? We know how much he wants to win this one. We know, surprisingly, how long it's been since he's won one with the Bassmasters. A lot of pressure on VanDam today, and most of it from him.
I started my day today at about 6 o'clock. I thought a lot last night about the holes that I was in, what I did. Forgot about some of the opportunities missed yesterday and moving on to today. And I can say, you know, I didn't come to lose. I'm going for it.
If you look at the days, just in terms of weights, day 3 had to be a nightmare for Kevin VanDam. The big weights on days 1 and 2, he goes down to 8 pounds and 8 ounces on the qualifying day for the championship, day number 3. But the important thing to remember is Kevin VanDam is a gritty guy. He stuck it out. He got himself a small limit of 5 fish. We watched him do it. The fact is that he did it all with a spinnerbait. But the story is not the spinnerbait itself, but what he did with that spinnerbait.
Yeah, you're right, Tommy. Here's something that everybody can learn from. On his first day on the course, Kevin started with a willow leaf blade on that spinnerbait. But towards the end of the day, he switches to an Indiana blade. Big deal. What's the difference, you might ask? Well, a willow leaf is kind of slim and trim, really buzzes through the water. But Kevin thought he needed to fish a little bit slower, and the Indiana blade is somewhat larger. It catches more water when it turns, which allows you to bring your bait through the water slightly slower. Plus, it's a little more visible in the murky water. I think that's a great move by KVD.
Kevin VanDam, final day, still trying to make that spinnerbait work for him.
Good one, too. Oh, gosh. Come on. That's a good one. Man. They don't come back. This isn't Bill Dance. That was a 3-pounder, too. Cannot do that, KVD.
VanDam knows how much every fish counts in this format. Coming up, we'll meet the rest of our Super 6, including Randy Howell, who made this final by 2 ounces. We'll see how he did it. That's when we return.
That was a 3-pounder, too. Do that, KVD.
The Citgo Bassmaster Tournament Trail Elite 50 Series. Top 50 ranked anglers from the Citgo Bassmaster Tour. This is stop number 3. We're on Lake Lewisville, just north of Dallas, Texas. We're down to the Elite 6 now. The 6 finalists on championship day. One of those trying to make it to win this thing. Randy Howell from Alabama won the very first Elite 50 back in Lake Dardanelle on Arkansas. Son Laker looking on. He just barely squeaked into this field. Jerry beat Aaron Martins out by a couple of ounces.
Yeah, and you know what, Tommy? If I finish 7th, I'm not going to turn around and loan the man who finished 6th and knock me out. I'm not going to loan him my lure. However, that is what Aaron Martins did. He's got a little bait that we've been seeing for 2 or 3 weeks now, a little shallow running laser crankbait that he did very well on, and doggone if he doesn't limit it. Randy Howell.
Day 3, Aaron Martins weighs in 5 pounds and 9 ounces. Then Randy Howell gets up to the stage using that crankbait. 5 pounds, 11 ounces. Randy Howell beats him by 2 ounces, makes it into the top 6, has a shot at the victory here on Lake Lewisville. And Randy Howell elated to be in this field here. He didn't win so much money, not big money the first time he won that very first E-50, but a $100,000 payday if he wins this one. And understandably, he's a little bit nervous right now.
This is the tree right here. I lost a big one in yesterday right here. My hands are shaking so bad. Every time I pull it over one of them limbs, I just feel like one's gonna bite it. That's a good feeling to have that feeling.
Day 3 was the first day on the course. That was the exploring day, the prospecting day, if you will. Are we going to see these guys now hitting the spots, the good places they found on day 3, now on championship day?
Well, you know, a lot of these guys probably would like to find a new place, a place that hadn't been hit yet, but goodness, that standing timber is right there in front of your face. The riprap was right in front of Iconelli. You have to fish those spots. There it is. Ah!
Golly. Did you see that? Golly.
Oh, Randy Howell's going to have to shake that one off, as tough as it was, and it's so much tougher because you got to shake it off and catch some fish quickly. Again, just an hour and 10 minutes in each one of these holes. Strategy is so important, being able to make things happen quickly. So important here on these championship days. Back to Kevin VanDam. He talked about how important the spinnerbait was to him on day number 3. You know, Kevin VanDam's made every E-50 top 12 in every event, ever staged. Still looking for his first win.
Yeah, but that's still an amazing statistic. And you remember last week, Tommy, I made the statement that, boy, there's a good fish right there.
Nice fish there.
That you sometimes need to fish real fast, slowly.
Explain that one again.
Well,
it's good. It's
actually, I think that's what Kevin VanDam does. If you'll watch him, he's just so fast with these lures. He's so fast about getting it in the right spot, but when he gets there, he fishes it slowly.
That was a great catch for VanDam. That moves him up the leaderboard, the only angler really making a move so far on this day. Period 1 is over with. They go fast. Now to period 2 and Edwin Evers.
I'm focusing in on trees that are leaning. If you look at that tree right there, it's leaning, and it just provides more shade than the vertical trees. All right, my friend. I think I got a bait they like. I can catch them on this bait. I've whacked them on this sucker before.
Evers got his own crew of onlookers. He's at hole number 6.
When these guys leave, you know they have a plan. And I'll bet you anything, it's always, I got to catch 1 fish per hole. Now, they tell you, you know, Tommy, they make the statement, well, I'm just going fishing today. I don't believe that. They're not just going fishing. They've got an idea of what they want to accomplish.
Sir. Thanks, guys. Fish ate it, too. Good deal. That's what it's all about. I like that. I like that a lot. That is the I hadn't thrown this bait. That's the absolute best I've had a fish eat crankbait since I've been here. That fish ate it, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Mike Iaconelli would love for day 4 to have played out just the same way that day 3 played out. On day 3, Mike got to start from scratch. That was a big help. He had a plan. He stuck to the plan, and the plan worked. He got a good limit of fish in the boat. At the end of the day, he had all the confidence in the world and every expectation of winning the tournament. But today, it has not turned out that way. It's been very, very slow. Been catching fish, Jerry, but they're not very big.
And however, Tommy, Iaconelli is out with one of the better cameramen, Stevie D, we call him.
Yeah, Steve Dursey, good guy.
And that little bump there kind of knocked Stevie D off track. He's a little bit out of whack.
Oh, my gosh.
And in goes, talk about Iaconelli's day going bad. How about Stevie D? Look at this. Let's wait.
Yeah, okay, so Iaconelli, he's running off tackle here. He lowers his shoulder, and it goes right into our man, Stevie D. That's not good right there. That was the start of things starting to go bad.
Right, that didn't knock him out of the boat, but Stevie D does kind of get back to get his feet on the ground.
And these boats, these are slicked up, shined up pretty for championship day.
A little slip right here.
And oh!
There was a shot of Steve. He saved the camera, Tommy.
Check it out, folks. Watch the camera go right into the seat, gently there. Stevie D has, well, he's the hero for today. Maybe not Mike Iaconelli's hero, because Mike's got to put up with all that, but he's back. Things are up and running again. Mike's got a fish on again. Mike almost goes in the water there, so this is just not going well today.
Wait a minute here now. Our cameraman went in the water for that little fish, Iaconelli. Come on.
All right, everyone's having their problems. Brian Snowden, when we come back. Kevin VanDam, he's working well today, too. That could be the story. We'll be right back.
Citgo Bass Insider.
Kevin VanDam is the hottest angler right now on the Citgo Bassmaster Tour.
That's what you come to Texas for right there.
To back up that point, he's qualified for the 12-angler cut in every Elite 50 event to date, but he hasn't won an event.
We're gonna freaking whack them.
Oh, God. As a matter of fact, VanDam's last win was the 2001 Bassmaster Classic.
Kevin VanDam!
Since that time, he's fished 38 events without a win, his longest drought in the last decade.
Good fish. The Bass Insider has been brought to you by Citgo.
We're back on Lake Lewisville, just north of Dallas, Texas, the Elite 50 Series. This is the final day, championship day. 6 anglers out there on our 6-hole course, about an hour and 10 minutes in each hole. Mike Iaconelli had the lead coming into the day, but he's caught no keepers yet. Brian Snowden less than a pound behind, and he's had no action as well, the man making the move. Kevin VanDam so far pulled up very close to Brian Snowden, a tight 3rd place for VanDam, and well, he's got it going a little bit today anyway.
Yeah, and I want to take even a closer look at how he is working this brush and how he's working that cover. Again, he's fishing his bait fast, but when it gets around the cover, he slows it down, and that blade allows him to fish it just a little bit slower. You know the old saying that 90% of the fish are in 10% of the water. It's the truth, and Kevin is going to fish in that 10% as slow as he possibly can.
That was worth a few casts.
Apparently he saw something he liked in that stack of wood over there.
Yeah, and you guys who think that Kevin VanDam is just a speed demon out there in the water, just cast, move, you know, you pay attention to him. When he gets in the right spot, he works it. One more time, that blade is allowing him to fish it carefully. Another good keeper for him right there, but he is really fishing slow.
That was worth a few more casts.
Kevin VanDam has taken over the lead on this final championship day. Again, Kevin VanDam has not won a Bassmaster event since his 2001 Bassmaster Classic. You talk about a guy with some want to. That's him out there today.
Hey, and one more fish right there, but we've seen this happen several times, and that fish may not measure, but we've seen this happen several times in Lewisville, and remember Aaron Martin's caught 3 fish away from one little post? Well, Kevin VanDam is doing a similar thing there.
Kevin VanDam having jumped into the lead means that this man right here, Brian Snowden, has gone from 2nd all the way down to 3rd place.
I caught a fish in here. Still too short. It's kind of a tough situation. You know, if you keep throwing the jig and you get a bite, most of the time it's a better fish. It's hard to do when you're not getting many bites, even yesterday.
I want to tell you something. Snowden is a pretty impressive angler. You know what? He's one of those guys that is just so close to breaking through. One of these days he's going to win one of these, and he's been close in the past already. He's going to win one, and then then the flood is just going to come in. He's going to win 2 or 3 of them.
Look at that. I think I finally got one. Oh, 15 and a half. I never planned on getting a bite in here.
Just like that, Brian Snowden vaults to the top of the leaderboard with 14 pounds. Meanwhile, Edwin Evers kind of been languishing at that 8-pound mark for the last hour or so. But in a familiar spot there at hole number 2, that boathouse and the walkway going out to it, we've been there before.
Yeah, we talked about that just a little bit ago, the fact that Aaron Martin caught 3 fish off of 1 post. Aaron Martin didn't make the cut here today, but boy, he was a hero there for just a little bit around that post. And I think that says a lot about this lake. These guys are catching several fish in one spot. So Kevin VanDam showed us a minute ago, if you catch a fish around one log, around one boat dock, whatever, don't move away from it too fast. Try another cast or 2.
No, it wasn't successful for Evers in that way. Back over to Brian Snowden.
I'm looking, and I'm trying to find stuff that's similar to the way I caught them before to make it here. Seeing how much stuff and which holes have the same type of structure that I was fishing in the lake. The other holes, you just try and cover some water and fish, you know, as thorough as you can and as much of it as you can in the time that you have allowed in that hole.
Brian Snowden, bingo. Oh, there we go, right there. Brian Snowden, another one of those anglers who started out his career, grew up on the West Coast, liked the fishing over here in the midsection of the country so much better, moved to the Springfield, Table Rock area. In fact, worked for a while at Bass Pro Shops there. He just likes this part of the world.
That's right, and he's a guide up in that area. He still does some guiding, so that keeps him kind of sharp. And by gosh, this is a pretty good bass. This may be the best bass we've seen all day long.
There we go. They're getting bigger. Look at that. Look at the belly.
3.5-pound lead now for Brian Snowden. You're not going to get any huge, giant celebration out of Brian. That's for this guy right here. You ever wonder where the whole concept of going Ike came from? Let's go back to the classic 2003.
Never give up! Never give up!
I think I'm a lot more confident, you know. Once you win that event, it settles you down as an angler. I mean, for every tournament that you fish for the rest of your life, you know that you've won a classic, and that's important. And so it's settled me down. It's calmed me down out here a little bit, and it gives you confidence that you're making right decisions, and that's good. Boy, it's tough. This is one of the toughest days I've had in a long time. I know that 1 or 2 bites, especially the right ones, and I still may win this tournament. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about, is just keep throwing. You know, never stop throwing. Yeah! All right. All right. Good, good, good. One in the boat, man. Still alive. Come on. Still alive, man. Don't count me out yet. Guarantee it. Don't count me out. I ain't giving up. I ain't giving up, man.
Pretty high-powered period of fishing right there. Brian Snowden stretches out a good lead. Then Ike jumps ahead of Kevin VanDam. So it's time for Kevin VanDam to pour it on. Not too much time left in this fishing day, but enough for anything to happen, and anything might happen when we return.
Yeah, finally!
Citgo Bassmaster Tournament trails Elite 50 Series top 50 anglers. In the Citgo Bassmaster Tour, we're down to 6 on championship day. Stop number 3, Lake Lewisville in Texas. Time for our Toyota hole count. We've been fishing our 6-hole course so far. The hot hole has been hole number 5. 3 fish caught in that hole. The hot period is period number 3 today. Period number 3 from 1240 to 150, pretty much midday. More fish caught in that period. Kevin VanDam, who started with the big fish of the tournament, now fighting for his life on the final day here.
Big old bass eats him, like an 11 or 12 pounder.
There he is, too. Good one.
Better go back and fish the rest of that, too. Huh? Oh, that's being on your toes, though. Just coming up here to fish that other stuff and just caught that out of my eye. Dropped in there and got a gift. I like gifts.
Kevin VanDam moving up into second place, still 2 pounds behind Brian Snowden, and Mike Iaconelli not far behind Kevin VanDam. Good, tight racing, as they say today, and Larry Nixon's the guy who's looking for something, anything. Got to get something going.
Larry's the guy I want to see, and you know why, Tommy? Because he's a homeboy. He lives right down the road from me. He lives in Bee Branch, Arkansas. I live in Cotter. What better reason would I have to pull for Larry Nixon? I tell you what, Larry and Randy Howell have both got to hold on, because they're still trying to make that classic.
All right, Kevin VanDam certainly has qualified for the classic, but he's looking for that win. Kevin VanDam, 4 years without the win here, and look at the crowd hanging with him today.
Seems to me that if they're there, they bite on this deal.
Kevin VanDam, of course, won the Elite 50 Series last year. He's been the most consistent performer throughout 2004. This year so far, coming into today, it's been Mike Iaconelli leading the point series in the E-50 category.
Yes.
Tom, I'm going to throw out something here that you're not going to hear Kevin VanDam himself say, but I guarantee you he wants to kick Iaconelli's fin.
He does that, but of course, no knock on Iaconelli. He wants to kick everybody's behind. And right now, Kevin VanDam has tied for the lead. He does some of his best work in the final minutes of a tournament.
I want to see that line go ching.
5.
At every Elite 50 event so far this year, you could gain the advantage, the upper hand, if you would only catch a 5-fish limit on that final day, and that's exactly what Kevin VanDam has just achieved. And look at the results right there, 2 pounds ahead of Brian Snowden. He has the lead as we finish up period number 5, head into period number 6, the final regulation period of fishing today.
This was Iaconelli's tournament. It was his to win. Then it was Snowden's. Both of them kind of bombed out as we look at Larry Nixon. And again, I want to say that, you know, Tommy, there's always so many games within the games going on here. Nixon is out of the running to win this tournament, at the moment anyway, but he is not out of the running to get in that Classic. And as I've said many times, the Classic means everything to these guys, so he is serious.
Come on, sweetheart, get off that log and eat. Good grief, what's the matter with you? Are you ready for me to start breaking all my rods?
Oh, Larry's being a good sport about it, but you know he's churning inside. As good as he is, if he'd gotten a few breaks, things had happened his way. As good as he is, he could have won the thing going away. It just didn't happen.
Hey, here's the man that's number 3 on the all-time money list. You know what kind of angler he is. Matter of fact, you better watch out. Kevin VanDam is on his trail.
Yeah, finally! No zero! About darn time.
Come on, fish, come on. Man, I'm working hard. Haven't stopped all day, come on. I'm not even asking for giants, I'm asking for keepers, man. Well, this is the log we started on yesterday, and I caught 4 fish off this one log, 2 were keepers. And I believe I can catch one again. I mean, depending on how bad it got beat up, you know, it's pretty obvious, this one. But we'll see. It's a good place to catch another keeper. Yeah!
Second keeper now of the day for Mike Iaconelli, but it's late in the day, so things are going to have to move fast. Iaconelli not won since his Classic win again back in 2003. Hard to believe as much as he's been near the top in the years since.
I'm not out of it. I ain't out of it, man. You hear me? I ain't out of it. That's right. Never give up. That's right. That's absolutely right, man. I'm taking a chance throwing that line in there, but, you know, I need the bites, you know? Good one. Yeah! Never give up! Yeah! Yeah, man! Yeah! 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 Now I'm pumped up.
We've seen more in terms of emotion. Not quite going Ike just yet, but signs of life in Mike Iaconelli. He has had the toughest of days on this day number 4 on Lake Lewisville, but things are starting to look up. Some signs of life. He's definitely in this thing. So is Kevin VanDam. So is Brian Snowden, for that matter.
Yeah.
We are far from settled here at Elite 50 stop number 3 for 2005. We got a bang-up finish coming when we return. Stay with us. Citgo Bassmaster Tournament Trail Elite 50 competition. The best anglers in the business We are down to the 6th best on Lake Lewisville. It's final championship day, and we are in the final period of angling. This is happy hour. We've been fishing our 6-hole course all day long. Each angler's spending about an hour and 10 minutes in each hole. On happy hour, you can go to any one of the holes you like, the place where you think you're most likely to get bit. That's where Mike Iaconelli would find him today, sitting in 3rd place, 3 pounds back of Kevin VanDam, who is 2 pounds ahead of Brian Snowden. VanDam with the lead.
Keeper, keeper. Yeah! Yeah! Another one over the tree. No! Oh, it's 13 and a half. Ain't gonna do it, brother. Damn. Ah! Go, go keeper, go keeper. I think. God, I don't know. Oh, 13 inches, man. God. I'll tell you, this has been the most frustrating day in my life.
Sounds a bit frustrating, and it has been for Mike Iaconelli. Short fish all day long. He's caught plenty of fish. He just can't get the good keepers in the boat. Same story for Randy Howland. He hasn't even caught that many short fish. Things have just been slow, gotten slower for Randy throughout the course of the day.
That looks like Iaconelli is dancing or something there. How does he do that? That's how he does it. He does something like that. And that's not as bad as Davey Hyde, but it's not as good as Iaconelli. But that's my only attempt at that.
Well, not a day for dancing for Randy Howland. Gonna have to work on those moves just a little bit. I think Davey Hyde might take exception to him right there. A lot of people out here having fun today, and Randy's just gonna have to make the best of a tough situation.
Yeah, yeah. There we go. Oh. That's the way my days go. You see him? He's about a 3, 2 3/4, something like that. That beats all I've ever seen.
Moment of truth now for Mike Iaconelli. There are about 12 minutes left in the fishing period. He's about 2.5 pounds behind Kevin VanDam. That's only one fish, only one good one. He hasn't seen very many of those today, so right now something's got to happen for Ike.
Broke my line, man. I don't know how I broke it. I fought it like I fished like today. I fought it like today's one of my worst days ever. What do you want me to say? That should have never happened. I mean, I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? That was 3-pounder, too.
Total dejection for Michael Iaconelli. That was the fish that could have done it for him. Kevin VanDam hasn't won since 2001. We'll see if he can pick up that much-needed victory right now. He's got to get past one Brian Snowden to make it happen. We'll have the weigh-in when we return.
Citgo Bassmaster Tournament Trail is brought to you by Cialis. And in part by Citgo. By Lowrance. And Mercury Marine.
The Citgo Bassmaster Elite 50 stop at Lake Lewisville in Texas was jump-started on day one by Kevin VanDam and his huge largemouth. 11 pounds, 13 ounces, a new lake record, and the anchor of a 24-pound-plus limit that gave him the 7-pound lead.
That's what you come to Texas for right there. Everything's bigger in Texas.
A lead that was extended to over 12 pounds when he backed it up with another great effort on day two.
That's what I wanted to see.
But the scores were erased when the top 12 began day 3 on a 6-hole course. The conditions there were much tougher. Mike Iaconelli turned on the jets and took command of the tournament, leading the way with 12-13. Brian Snowden was just less than a pound behind, and Kevin VanDam managed to get a limit of small ones to make it to the top 6 in 3rd place. On championship day, the bite has been even slower, but it's VanDam off to the best start, taking over the lead, then back and forth as Brian Snowden catches a couple of solid fish. Meanwhile, Mike Iaconelli, who had the lead and the momentum coming into today, had struggled with short fish and only mounts a charge in the final hours, losing a crucial fish near the end. The crowds on the water were phenomenal, and so are the weigh-in crowds who've been waiting for hours. Randy Howe, who won the very first E-50 in 2004, had high expectations, but started the day with a lot of ground to make up. Randy has no keepers, but shows his appreciation for this week to the crowd.
Hey, but look at this. We might have broke Arkansas's record. You think we did?
Oh, we already got that locked up. What do you say, Texas? Best crowd in sports right here.
Kevin VanDam, he's not won a Bassmaster event since his classic win in 2001, despite having won the E-50 points championship last year. He does not know what the others have, but he's prepared for the worst.
You kind of get used to being disappointed. It's just one of these times you know, when things all go your way and everything, you catch everything that bites, that's when you win. And I just haven't fished to the best of my ability the last couple of days. So.
Larry Nixon disappointed as well, but impressed with the crowd, as he has been throughout his career, impressed with Texas bass fishing.
What a crowd, that's unreal. You know, Texas is my second home. I spent a lot of years down in this country. I would be willing to say there's at least 50 of them out there that I've guided or my little brother's guided over the years.
Nixon, with one fish, will finish in 4th. Mike Iaconelli shows his emotions when things are going well. It's also apparent when things have gone badly.
You know, with 15 or 20 minutes to go in the day, I had a fish on that was 3 to 3.5 pounds, and my line broke. And that just can't happen out here at this level. And that may be the fish that cost me this tournament. I'm disgusted. I mean, I honestly feel sick to my stomach right now. I feel like throwing up.
Mike Iaconelli moved to the top.
Ike takes the lead, but he knows that his 3 pounds, 9 ounces today did not get the job done. VanDam has listened to what's happened and now knows he may be back in the game. Edwin Evers has had a rough time of it as well. He finishes in 5th place. Backstage, Kevin VanDam's mood has changed dramatically.
Well, I got a better shot now. You never know. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Now I'm getting excited.
Kevin hits the stage and the crowd is ready. He energized them on day 1, and he takes the final day lead with a limit over 10 pounds. One man left who can knock him out. Brian Snowden knows what a win would mean to him.
Everything. It'd be a lot. You know, it'd mean a lot for my career and just status-wise. I think it would help out a lot.
6:14 to take his
Snowden's
first
2
win.
fish are good ones, but not enough. Now it's over. A great tournament in Texas is done, and so is the drought for Kevin VanDam. VanDam just had,
I mean, you can't be 13 pounds ahead of everybody. Even with the reshuffle, even with the restart, you can't go back and lose that tournament.
It turned into the Kevin VanDam Memorial Tournament, so it was right that he won.
Exactly, so it was the Memorial Tournament. Hey, how about our Citgo turning point? What is it in your mind?
Well, I'm going to go with Iaconelli losing that fish, and incidentally, we will replay exactly what he said after the kids go to bed tonight at midnight.
No, we won't either. We're not gonna, we can't replay that at any time. We have our Toyota hole count. I know you have our hot periods for us right here,
Hot
Jerry.
periods, it was a tie, actually. Period number 3, period number 6. But there were 3 fish caught in those 2 periods.
That's turned out to be the hot part of the day in the E-50 schedule. The hot hole was hole number 5. They caught 3 fish out of hole number 5. It gives you an idea of how tough that course actually was, both on days 3 and day 4. The Bush heavyweight limit of the tournament, 24 pounds, 2 ounces. That seals it for Kevin VanDam. He is going to the Bush shootout. I know you got the batting averages. You're always watching batting averages.
More Kevin VanDam.
Yeah.
Hey, look at the top 6 right here, and right on top, Kevin VanDam and Iaconelli. Actually, that's where they need to be.
All right, surely we're done talking about Kevin VanDam because we're going to Lake Wissota, where the only guy that would have an advantage would be Kevin VanDam. All right, what else about Lake Wissota?
Well,
small,
I tell you,
right?
Yeah, it is a smaller body of water. However, there's more fishable water in it. So we'll see how it actually boils down to the fishing. There should be some smallmouth caught up there. And we keep talking about VanDam. How about Davey Height and Gary Klein and Nixon? Do they have anything to gain from this lake?
The only way those guys are going to get to the Bassmaster Classic is finish in the top 10 on the Elite 50s. We got that. So many more stories working. We will not be short of great stories for you when we see you again, Lake Wissota, on the Citgo Bassmaster Tournament Trail.
Oh, my goodness.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to Bassmaster.com.